Today we have Eddie McCoy coming to give us our devotion. I've known Eddie for a really long, basically my entire life. A story that is too long for today. We used to call him Uncle Eddie back in the day, but you'll have to ask him that story if you want. But here is Uncle Eddie McCoy with today's devotion.
Hey folks, I'm Ed McCoy, and the topic I've chosen to speak on is hope. One of the verses that I like when it comes to hope is 1 Peter 3:15. It says, "But in your heart revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give a reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect." Well, I like the hope, but I kind of have a problem with that gentleness and respect part. I'm a work in progress. What can I say? Well, for me, what it does is it really does sum up the idea of what we have to do. We have to take that hope and take it to the world, right? So we have to be able to answer for everything. If you go back and look back at the Psalms give you the idea and the example that the hope that the ancient Israelites had. They placed their faith and their hope in the Lord. Paul writes in the Romans all about what that hope actually is. So when it comes to Peter, he's summing up why we need to be able to take that hope to the world. And this is the perfect time of year to be bringing that hope to the world, to a world that really needs a lot of hope. Well, I found that the abundance of hope really helped when I was quite young. Of course, I don't know how many of you know my story. I got married very young. I was not ready to be a father. I was not ready to be a husband. Well, fortunately, it was that hope that is given to us that helped me kind of persevere through that entire era. I was studying to be an engineer. I thought I was going to be a big shot engineer. I was going to make lots of money, this, that, and the other. But at that point, you kind of have to realize that money and riches and big shot jobs aren't all that. Your hope needs to be in the Lord. And it was that hope that really, when things seemed very down, and it seemed very down for years at times, but it got us through to where I am today. At this point, I've got all my girls and they're graduated and they're through and they're grown up and they're in great shape. It was that hope that really, like when things seemed low, kept us going. I mean, like I said, I was planning to be an engineer, but with that change in course, I got to spend more time with my daughters as a father than most guys ever hoped to imagine. So, again, it was that hope in the Lord that brought me to a place where I could accept where I was. Well, a lot of what I see is folks, they have hope, but they hope in the wrong things. They place their hope in people who may not deserve their faith. They've placed their hope in things that aren't going to provide what they think it's going to provide. They place, for instance, you place your hope in politicians. Well, you kind of hope they're going to do the right thing, but they're politicians and they're human, so there's no guarantees there. Some folks I know will place their hope in possessions. As long as I got just one more dollar, I'll be okay, this, that, and the other. And that's not gonna, it might get you through right now, but it's not gonna save your soul. Some people place their hope in science. Hey, I like science just as much as the next guy. It's a great tool provided to us by God, but science isn't the end all be all hope that we need it to be. So it's those kind of things when I see people placing their hope in the wrong things that I sometimes just want to scream about it. But I go back to that 1 Peter 3:15, be ready to give that answer for the hope that I have.